Aaron,
Brandon.
welcome to the Aaron and Brandon show. So we're back from how long a hiatus?
Technically, it was 3 months. I think it was a little bit longer though.
Yep.
I think we went on a little break before.
Yep.
We ended up going on another break.
Yep.
Which is all my fault.
We was on a break. No, we wasn't on a break. We still been buddies and friends, but just like
Did you just ensue that me and you have a thing?
we have a thing.
I don't understand why people think I have a thing with other men.
It's called a podcast. That's the thing that we have. But in the meantime, and in between time, we are. So let me tell you. So we have rebranded the show. It was initially the Markout Movie Podcast. The idea behind the name, the Markout Movie Podcast, is because we're fans of wrestling, and the term "mark" is a wrestling term that means that you're, like a fan of. Like he's a mark for HBK.
Oh, yes.
And I'm a mark for Steve Austin. It is what it is. Oh hell yeah! But yeah. So we're fans of these wrestlers, and so mark out movie is meaning
I'm
that
wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
Whose game is it?
LA Knight.
Yeah.
I like this shirt. It's my first time actually seeing the shirt, so it's pretty awesome. So we're fans of wrestling and movies. So marking out mean to like be a fan of. Yeah, but every time you have to explain what it means, just change the name of the show.
Are you explaining it a lot?
Yeah, because I'm like, mark out movie. And I feel like I need to because people don't. If you're not a wrestling fan, you don't know the term mark. Like, I know the term mark. And I got a phone call coming in, but I'm ignoring it. Anyway, sorry, buddy. I'm going to let them know that I'm doing a podcast, so can't talk. That's the benefit of having two phones. All right.
Don't explain it.
Don't explain it. But so, Brandon, tell them how you came up with the name.
How did I come up with this name?
Yep.
I really don't recall. I was doing something though. I really don't remember. Do you remember how I came up with it?
Well, you text me and said, I was thinking about, it wasn't like Doc Brown. You wasn't on the toilet and fell and hit your head and you had to come up with a flux capacitor. But, or were
I fall
you?
off couches, not toilets.
So you fell off your couch and then hit your head and then.
I think I was watching something though, and I was like, I just started thinking, why overcomplicate things? He's Aaron, I'm Brandon. Let's just call it the Aaron and Brandon show. It's simple.
I think we will keep this.
You're gonna keep it.
Yeah.
He wants to keep it.
Yep.
Okay.
But go ahead, continue.
Like it's a.
Like a child? What do you mean? What, a car? A cat? What do you mean?
We'll keep it.
You have a cat?
I do.
Okay. So this show.
I would love to get rid of.
Oh, okay. So it's a turn.
No, I mean it's just she's very annoying in the morning.
Oh, yeah, as most cats are.
Not like this one.
Okay.
She'll meow for hours. If I let her.
She's in heat, Brandon.
No. I mean, she's not.
She is.
She's been taken care of in that department.
Okay. Well, can they not still meow? Does she want stuff?
She wants something. She wants me to get up.
Oh, then let her out. Like what? Like she a dog? Like how does that work?
She wants food. She wants water. She wants attention.
It's kind of like
having a woman. I mean, it's just.
So, in other words, you're like, I don't need this.
I don't need this. Not anymore.
Not anymore. He cut all women from his life, including the felines. But the show, like you said, is just to simplify Aaron and Brandon. I'm Aaron. He's Brandon. And
I'm
this
white,
is our
he's
show.
Black,
Or that. We didn't. I didn't go there, but okay. But yeah, so that is.
I'm part Irish too. I just want to throw that out.
I am as well.
And Cherokee Indian.
Not part, but like, I'm pretty sure I can pull it up. Not Cherokee. Do you know that for sure? Because I feel like all white people.
My great grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee.
I feel like, have you done a DNA test?
I mean, I haven't done the DNA.
Have you looked at your? Because I feel like, we're gonna be here now. So I feel like all white people.
All white people. I knew I'd get him to say it eventually because he's all about race.
I love race, but like I love
Does he though?
all races. But anyway, I feel like
You like all races?
Yeah,
Man, that does not sound right.
literally like the racist. We don't that, but I'm saying like every shade of ethnicity.
You love them.
I thank God for them. Anyway, my point is, because a lot of people claim Cherokee heritage, but I feel like a lot of people don't, like they assume they have Cherokee heritage, but maybe not. But maybe they do, just depends. But also I know that it's hard when it comes to DNA. I know that it's hard to get, a specimen. What's the word?
Oh, you got this.
Yeah, to get like a sample from because a lot of people don't trust the white man, don't trust the government, and so don't want to freely give up the DNA. You know what I mean?
Why would you want to give up your DNA?
But the DNA is tested so that when I go to test, I can say, "Oh,
well, you're doing a murder investigation. I mean, you don't want to give up your DNA."
Well, there's been, speaking of that, there's been like a few people that have been caught because like they their DNA match was in the database, and then somebody like say their family members was trying to search for long lost relatives, and there's like a hit and be like, "Oh, your DNA matches with this DNA in this case. So who was it?" And then you find out, "Oh, well, your great great granddaddy was a murderer." Not saying this is your family, Brandon.
Oh, you don't have to even go there. I already know my family has killed people, so on the air too. Yeah.
Okay, so this show it's going to be more than movies. Clearly, it's going to be about just different things. It could be movies, TV show, wrestling, like we did before, but also life.
I had a cousin who was in prison for attempted murder.
All right, so I have an uncle that was in prison for murder. Well, he wasn't in prison for murder. He was in prison for something else. But while he was in prison, he's like, why not? Why not murder someone?
And so sweet.
Well, he's dead now. So, but I did preach his eulogy, so that was cool. All right.
Did you know him well?
Not really. Like I remember, my dad says when I was a kid, I met him, and he might have bought us a dog named Puddles, but I don't recall this dog nor this meeting. But nevertheless, when I was older, when I was a teenager, I wrote him, and he wrote me back. I wrote him because I was like, "Hey, you're in prison." I didn't say it that way, but this is the gist of that letter. "Hey, you're in prison." I was young. I was into like hip hop, like gangster rap. I was into that. I was in that era. Like I would say, No Limit era of rap, and I was like, "Hey, you're in prison. You're cool because you're in prison. I want to be like you." And then he's like, "Look, man," he essentially said, "You're an idiot." But he's like, no, he said, "Listen, that's not smart. Listen to your mom, listen to your dad, stay in school, and because I've done things in prison I'm not proud of." It's literally verbatim what he said. And I was like, okay, don't want to go to prison. And so, lesson taught, lesson learned.
I didn't make it to prison.
Yep. So since it's no longer updating, I ain't worried about the update. I'm gonna scoot this back so we can get a little bit more room. There we go. So, leads us into this. So this is the show. Brandon, what's been up with you?
Oh man, what's been up with me?
If you want to talk about it, it's up to you.
Let's see. Well, I got hacked. So that was up.
You got hacked by I was gonna say a winch, but that's not true.
Someone I met on a dating app. So I haven't been on a dating app in like 7 months.
Stay away from dating.
I'm not getting back on one.
Ain't gonna get back on it. Ain't gonna worry about it. Don't want that. Ain't about that life.
You can't trust people.
Listen, can't trust DTA. Stone Cold.
You can't.
This is another Stone Cold reference. If you just Google Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you understand what we're talking about.
And then I went through some let's see what I've been through a lot.
What have I not been through?
I had an MRI done like a few weeks ago. That came out pretty poorly. Like one of the worst MRIs I've ever had. My back
did they say this is? Did the doctor were they like, oh my gosh?
I think they were surprised as well. because I should have pain shooting down my legs, and I don't.
Neuropathy?
No,
Because
they didn't mention that. But...
you don't have the pain? Do you feel numbness? Can I touch it?
Yeah.
It sounds weird. Pause. Talk about your leg. The leg.
He's talking about the leg, people. He
right.
isn't touching the dongs. So no one's touching that.
All right. Anyway.
What kind of podcast is this, Eric? I don't know. Anything goes.
It's off the rails. All right. I will say this real quick.
Okay.
To mention, you talked about heritage. 1% Irish.
I've got to be like
1% French.
10% Irish. As white as I am.
35% Nigerian. And then I have 14% Germanic Europe.
European. You?
Yes. Because of the slave trade, Brandon.
Well, I didn't want to go back to this.
It is what it is.
Racism.
Well, it's steeped in racism, this country. But anyway.
We know, Aaron.
Well.
Our forefathers were racist.
Some of them.
Slave owners and...
My forefathers wasn't. They were the race of the racist. All right, anyway. No, I'm just playing. Anyway.
My great-grandfather was a...
You ain't got to go. You don't have to go there if you don't want to. It's up to
I'm
you.
just saying he was. I was told he was.
I assume he
Slave
was.
owner.
Probably was. Reparations. All right. So, real quick.
Okay.
My life. So, what happened with me is I was working somewhere. They dissolved my position, and I found myself without a job. But thankfully, I got a job at the Warren County Library, which is an excellent job. I absolutely enjoy working here and enjoy the people here. And it's part-time, but it's fun time. So I enjoy it. And also I'm now a member of a fraternal order called the Odd Fellows. So it's it's kind of like the Masons, Freemasons, but I'm an Odd Fellow, which I already knew I was an Odd Fellow. But why not join the Odd Fellows and make it plain? So yeah,
you're an odd fellow.
Yeah, I'm an Odd Fellow. Yeah, it's called the International Order of the Odd Fellows.
I want to say this.
This is kind of like a logo from the Odd Fellows.
Is this a cult?
No, it's not a cult. It's like the Masons. Masons isn't a cult.
Are you sure?
But also, I'm not a Mason. We're not a cult. Cults are weird. Don't be a cult. Don't be in a cult. Cults are terrible. There's no good cults. Can you name one good one? I'll wait.
This
you
is
can't.
An odd start to this
a
podcast.
odd conversation. Yeah, but this is a great. This is laying the framework for what you expect with this. Speaking of which, we don't have any notes or anything. We just kind of, I hate to say freeballing. Is that the right word? Brandon, thank you.
I don't know. I don't
Quick
know.
question. So, I would say this. I want to get your thoughts. So I haven't watched.
Oh boy, that's dangerous.
I haven't watched. Oh, let's talk about this real quick. We're gonna bridge from this back to wrestling. Not wrestling, but so we watched. I watched it. You watched it. Sinners.
Sinners. It's not wrestling at all.
It's not wrestling. I meant to say movies.
Let's
Sinners.
roll back to racism.
Yeah. But so let me throw this out there. One of the first things I've heard after I watched it was like, oh, it's pretty much from dusk to dawn. But well, I can understand.
Did you read my review?
Did you? Yeah, I did. But I can see the similarities between that and From Dusk to Dawn. In my opinion, though, Sinners is a better movie than From Dusk to Dawn. In my opinion, I enjoyed it more. I would rather watch Sinners more than watching From Dusk to Dawn. I'm pretty bored.
Don't like Dusk to Dawn.
I don't. But also, I'm not a huge Tarantino guy. Or is No, it's Robert Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, Rodriguez is the one who made that movie.
Yeah. Well,
you hating on Tarantino?
Tomato, right here with Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. I mean, they're pretty much. Yep. Hence the feet stuff in it, because Tarantino.
He's got a foot fetish.
He got a foot fetish. But
shout out to Andy. How you doing, buddy?
Andy has foot fetish. Is that why you mentioned
I'm
his
not
name?
saying a word. I'm not saying a
You
word.
literally just
Andy.
said, you just said shout out to Andy.
I didn't do a thing.
You literally
Did not.
You literally just like.
I just said a shout out to Andy. That's all I said. Roll the footage. Shout out to Andy after you mentioned a foot fetish. That's all. Okay. No one need to put two together.
Oh, two
Love
together.
You, love you, brother.
Two makes four, sir. Four feet. All right. Anyway, so people like I want to know
Doesn't know where to go after that.
Nobody does. But speaking of feet, where to go? All right. So with Andy, not Andy. I'm sorry.
I didn't do it.
With Sinners, did you? So what's the biggest? What is the best thing you liked about it, and what's the thing that you didn't like the most? You know what I'm saying?
All right, the best thing I liked about it. Really got to think about it because there's a lot of good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually agree with you. It is better than From Dusk Till Dawn. I actually compared it to From Dusk Till Dawn, but with a splice of Jaws, the way they told the story as well. Because the vampire doesn't come into play till like the third act, which is really when Bruce comes out and plays. I mean, he's in it throughout the movie, but
When he says Bruce, he's talking about Jaws, by the way.
the shark.
For those that don't know.
Who would know?
Who wouldn't know? Millennials, maybe. I don't know. Not millennials. What are these new ones called? Zennials? I don't know.
Gen Z,
I don't know these.
Something.
I don't know the things. But I will say this with what you said, and I don't want to forget it. You mentioned that and this is a testament to how good the movie is. As you said, you don't really need the vampires. The story in itself was compelling without the vampires.
Yeah, I mean, they could have. I guess if they would have went that direction, though, maybe would have got. I don't think it would have. What was that? Tom Hardy, Shia LaBeouf, Guy Pearce film that was set around the same era.
Oh, Lawless.
Lawless, yeah.
Lawless, yeah.
It could have gotten compared to that, but for a black audience, if you want to label it.
I mean, it is what it is. It's Jim Crow. It's different for that's them. But all right.
But I loved it nonetheless. Any way you want to label it, I loved it. But getting back to your question, what was my favorite part? What was my least favorite part? Favorite part, I think I loved Sammy. I love his story.
Yep.
Obviously, I don't know. I can say I relate to it a lot because my dad was a preacher growing up. Mm-hmm. My grandfather was a preacher growing up. My brother became a preacher, and I didn't.
He followed the blues, and the blues in this case is movies. And
yes. I kind of went the other way, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I still love God and everything, so I did.
Yeah. I don't even think that it was a question whether or not Sammy still didn't love God. He just didn't want to follow that footsteps.
So I understood him. I understood the character completely. And I say you could relate to it because you are a preacher. So
I am.
You could relate to it. You grew up in church pretty much your life, right?
Yeah, most of my life. My parents didn't really, they went to church for the big ones like Easter, Christmas, stuff like that. But then when I got older, my parents both rededicated their life. When my dad got saved, my mom rededicated her life and then started going to church more, and I started going to church. And so, yeah. So now my whole family within my household goes to church.
As much as I loved Sammy's story arc, to me it's the brothers. It's the twins. Yeah. Michael B. Jordan.
He's so great. I don't even notice. Like, I forget that it's Michael B. Jordan playing two different characters. Yeah. Like, they are so distinctive.
So those brothers and their story that they're telling is my favorite part of the movie. I just love it. I think it's his best movie that I've seen. And I may not have given it 5 stars, but I like it better. I like Creed, but I like it more for Stallone. Yeah. For Rocky, yeah. I felt like he was. He's still in the shadows of Apollo.
You feel like they have, because I assume there's going to be another Creed. Yeah. Do you feel like they're completely done with the Rocky story and just moving forward just with Creed? Because I think they burned a bridge that they shouldn't have burnt. I think they, honestly, because I was there for the relationship between And I feel like it's I feel like it's unresolved with the way that they ended it. Like it's although they ended. This was the second one. They ended with Rocky showing back up to see his son.
Yeah, because he wasn't in the third.
Yeah, which makes sense. But still, I think that the way that like you mentioned it, and this is no longer about Sinners, but it's about that Creed 3 is had Adonis's mom died. You said for sure Rocky would have been there.
Yeah,
there's no reason why Rocky wouldn't have been there. Or a call or something.
And the only way you could really get away with that is you say Rocky died. And they didn't. They said he's just elsewhere.
Yeah.
He's with his son.
Yep.
But Rocky would have been at the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much history with the family, with the Creed family. But as far as my least favorite part of the movie,
Sinners now.
Sinners. Probably the sets, honestly.
Well, it was there. It was there.
Yeah, you didn't warn me about that.
I didn't want. I'm so sorry. How was that conversation? Jeez, I didn't think about that. You didn't ask me. You didn't say, "Hey, is there anything?" I didn't know you. I didn't. There wouldn't be. I didn't know you was taking.
It's a Ron Coogler film. It's Michael B. I didn't think, this is gonna have.
She said
it doesn't have nudity. It just has.
How was his response? Yeah, it doesn't have nudity, but it does. It's very suggestive. She said she stuck in my coos. How was that conversation? Like, she said, what?
He just looked at me. He's like,
The officer is like a grown. Was he 13?
It got worse though for me because later on that night we watched The Final Destination, the worst one, and there's a sex scene and boobs out everywhere, and I'm like, oh god.
Oh man.
But it's not like he hasn't seen it before. He's 14 now. He's talking about sex a little bit more now. So
this podcast will be pretty much everything. So we're gonna. It's not unless we just say, hey, we're gonna be talking about this one thing. We might be all over the place. Join us for our randomness. But speaking of Final Destination, I've seen the trailer for Final. Is it 6?
It's technically part 6. Yeah. Bloodlines.
But so Final Bloodlines, Final Destination Bloodlines. So it's not pulling me in there.
I think it's because of the dual story.
Yeah, it's that, and then also, I try not to watch because I from the trailer you already know what's gonna happen. But and then they just recycling things. Like they showed like someone. No spoilers if you've seen the trailer, but they show someone getting hit by a bus. We've seen that. So the shock is, so it's just.
It's a tease.
Okay.
I've read some reviews and they said that's just in the trailer.
Okay, that's good. Well, I don't like when trailers. I like trailer. I have an issue with trailers. Brandon will tell you.
Oh yeah. He has issues. He has issues with trailers.
What's his accent, man?
I don't know, but it comes out sometimes.
Anyway, he's on the rocky road to Dublin. This guy here, on the rocky road to Dublin. Will you go, lassie, go? That's one of my. I love the soundtrack from Sinners. By the way, I've been listening to it. Will you go, old lassie, go? I love that song. Mm-hmm.
And I don't want it to sound racist.
It may.
But
you might not want it to, but it may. Go ahead.
But as far as films that are meant for black audiences,
for us blacks, continue. FUBU. They literally mentioned
I feel like this movie is meant for black audiences through the Depression era, and it shows where the music came from.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was meant more for black audiences than white or any other.
Yeah, I can see that, especially like when
I was just curious, where does Sinners rank in black films for you?
So far it's fairly new, but I think that this is one of my. It's an instant classic. I feel like this is gonna be one of those like films that we talk about like along the lines of Get Out or Black Panther. I think that it's going to be like one of those.
I obviously feel Black Panther still holds up. I've seen it multiple times.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, I think Get Out is still in the conversation as far as like.
I hear people hating on it now.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, because I think, for one, I think Jordan hasn't. The last film he did was Up, right? No, it was Up, not Up. What's it called?
Jordan did
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, I said Up. Jordan Peele brings you up. It would be different.
He got Out. He did Us, and now he's Nope.
Nope. Yeah. So the next one, there's a movie called Him, but it's technically he's producing it. He's not.
Is that the football movie?
He's not directing it. He's producing it.
I asked Dawson if he wanted to see it. He's like, no.
Yeah. So, and my thing is this: he's lending his name. He's John Carpenter himself, or I would say Wes Craven in himself.
Yeah, it's
because I would say because he Wes Craven himself with Candyman, which it makes you think, oh, Jordan Peele's doing Candyman. It'd be great, but it wasn't Jordan Peele doing Candyman. It was actually. It wasn't Jordan Peele doing Candyman. It's my staff members. They're like, hey, I love them. But so it wasn't Jordan Peele doing Candyman. It was someone else doing Candyman, but with Jordan Peele's name. Now you can feel his influence in that movie. I felt like Monkey Man. I think that he produced it. Some other stuff he produced, but Him is a production type of thing.
Yeah, the only reason I would want to see it, and I'm just being honest, because I'm a massive
Marlon.
Marlon.
Yeah.
He's my only reason.
It'd be interesting to see Marlon do like a horror, but it looks so, like, I don't understand. Now, I did see a trailer. This is not Jordan Peele, but I seen a trailer for that movie called Run or Die, or Walk or Die. Walk or Die. It's like based on the Stephen King story. But it's like these people are walking, and the military's kind of riding behind them. And
it's like a long walk.
It says walk or die. Maybe it's a long walk.
I think that's adaptation of
the
long walk.
And so the person,
I'm glad that's actually getting on. Who's doing it?
I don't know who's doing it, but the guy that was in Alien Romulus as the android.
Oh, he's good.
He's in it.
Well, it gives me hope.
Yeah, he was great in Alien Romulus. I think he's the best part of it.
Like a dismissive person, but the monkey was not. It may be in a Stephen King.
You didn't like the monkey? Did you not like it? Did you feel like it was? Did you feel like more of it was Eli Roth? Did it feel more Eli Roth than Stephen King? Because I got that feeling of Eli Roth watching that movie.
I mean, I wouldn't say. I don't know.
It's too slapsticky. It was very slapsticky, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's like Ready or Not. And I kept thinking while I was watching, what does this movie remind me of? Because I know it's reminding me of something. And once I got out of the theater and I was like, Dawson, it's like, Ready or Not. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The deaths did not matter. Except for Ready or Not, they were more serious.
Well,
the monkey was not serious.
But that's why I said this is what I mean by it reminded me of Eli Roth films, like the school bus full of cheerleaders cheering on death, and then like at the end, like they all lose their head. Like it's very Eli. That's something Eli Roth would do. Like just out of nowhere, his movie. That's what I hate about his movies. I'm gonna say this to you, Eli.
He's not listening. He's not watching.
Just in case you are. I don't like you doing this in your movie, sir. Stop. Because
Can you imagine the entitlement of this guy right here? Eli Roth. Green
Inferno. Green Inferno.
I've never seen it.
It wasn't bad until yeah. But then also Cabin Fever, like same thing. He ruins, like he shoots himself in the foot towards the end of his movies. He shoots himself in the foot.
Why do people hate on? Are we talking about the original Cabin Fever?
Cabin Fever, Eli Roth, yes.
Okay. Why are we hating on that movie? That movie was.
It's not, sir.
It was beloved when it came out.
No one beloved it.
It was. Everybody was talking about it.
No, everybody's talking about Hostel. Now everybody's talking about Cabin Fever.
I Do you remember conversations about Cabin Fever
with one person and his name starts with a D?
Pretty sure I didn't have a conversation with Dustin about Cabin Fever. I'm pretty sure on this. Yeah, I can mention your name. I don't have any hate towards you.
Okay, but
just remember you're a person.
All right, so All right. So what were we talking? So, but yeah, I mean, as far as like that movie, I feel what you're saying. The only person that handles a Stephen King adaptation is
Your guy, Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan. Like he's the only one that I trust with Stephen King stuff. I feel like
the dude that did Walking Dead.
Greg. No, what's the name?
He only did
Greg Nicotero.
No.
Okay.
Only the first 2 seasons.
Okay.
Is the reason the actor that Dale,
Mm-hmm.
who played, I don't remember his name. I know his character's name's Dale.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason he left The Walking Dead is because they fired him.
Oh.
After the first 2 seasons.
Bad
Everybody
choice.
Because
But he did the third season was trash. Was it because they didn't like the second season? It was Herschel's Farm, right?
Yeah.
All right. Second season of Walking Dead is the in my opinion the most boring season of Walking Dead.
Really?
Yeah, I felt it got interesting with the Shane Rick dynamic, and then that finale with the opening the barn doors and stuff. I think it's finale. I think it's finale.
No, it wasn't the finale.
It wasn't finale. I hadn't seen it.
Shane was still alive when they opened those doors.
Okay.
Shane wasn't alive in the finale.
I remember.
He died episode 15. I think they opened the doors.
But that's when you discovered that you don't have to be bit to become a walker, right? Because with Shane wasn't bit. Shane turned. He's just killed, right? Or did he die? Yeah.
Carl, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Rick killed him.
And he turned.
Stabbing him.
And that's when you discovered that you don't have to be bit to be turned. And that was a big revelation. I remember it was a big revelation when you was watching the show. You're like, oh man, so it's all bets are off.
You didn't really enjoy season 2.
Nobody, because Shane.
Don't say nobody. Don't say nobody.
See, season 3 is when they make it to the prison, right?
Right.
All right, and that's when you have, I forget his name.
Come on now, talk to me.
Big dude, Tyrone. I feel like Tyrone. Is his name Tyrone? I feel like his name is Tyrone. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, but that's not. He doesn't come until like
Tyrese. Is his name Tyrese?
Yeah, it's Tyrese. The big one.
The big dude. Not O-Dog or Q-Dog, whatever.
T-Dog.
T-Dog. Nobody like T-Dog.
You know what I found interesting? No one really remembers T-Dog.
No one ever remembers T-Dog. He's on TikTok now. He's like, I was on Walking Dead. Nobody cares T-Dog. I'm just playing.
Yeah, you didn't get no love, man. You had no respect.
You know who the character I didn't like the most on Walking Dead. See, this is random. Thank y'all for listening. I didn't like
if you are
Andrea. I didn't like Andrea.
My son hates Andrea. I don't understand.
Yeah, Andrea.
I don't understand her hate.
And Carl, get in the house, Carl.
See, if Carl would have listened, if he just could have listened.
Carl grew into a better character, but then they nixed Carl.
I'm just saying, if he would have listened, he probably wouldn't have got killed.
He probably would have got killed. Also, if he would listen,
because he went out looking to help people.
Yeah, Carl's an idiot. You know who I like is Caroline. Carol. Yeah.
He doesn't know the characters' names at all.
I don't remember. I hadn't seen Walking Dead in so long. Brandon and his son was going.
We're on
still
season
on it?
9. We're halfway through season 9.
What I'm watching right now is Law and Order SVU, and I'm on season 6. I'm like not halfway through it, but I'm like still early on in season 6. It's interesting because when you watch not Walking Dead, when you watch SVU, and I say Walking Dead or any other show that has longevity, you start seeing people doing guest appearances on the show, and you're like, oh, like I literally. So, what's the name? Jared Padalecki was on an episode of SVU, and then Zach Morris. He played a secretively gay guy.
No.
Yes.
Mark Paul.
Yes, he was gay.
Mark Paul.
Gay? Yeah, he was, but it's fine.
It's fine.
He played that character, but yeah, it was just interesting.
It's interesting that he played one.
That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it shows you people that was on the show that like, man, I didn't even realize. David Harbour. Harper was on the show. Harper. Yeah, he played like a. He's a pedophile. He played a pedophile. But back then they were probably actors who just need work. Then
he didn't get big until he did
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But then he's blown up. Good for him. But yeah, and then Rainn Wilson, Dwight Schrute, he was on an episode as a janitor. But
before Office.
It's before Office.
Was this before?
I would say it might be before Office, or it might be during early Office where Office hadn't taken off. Because I recognize him. I'm like, there's the White Fruit.
Rob Zombie movie, House of a Thousand Corpses. He's in that. That
was what, 99, I feel? 98, 99? Was it 90? It's like 98, right? 99? I feel like it's 99. Yeah.
That was in early 2000s.
Benefits of two phones. All right. House of a Thousand Corpses. So it was 2003.
See,
jeez,
I thought it was in early.
I felt like it was in the 90s.
That was like before The Office.
I remember he was like so unknown, but you know what? I love the segue. I love the segue because we're going to talk about movies that you loved. This will be a great list. Movies that you loved, but you don't love no more. Oh, you know what I'm saying? No. Movies that you loved initially. Movies that you loved.
Why you gotta change, people?
Because movies that you loved that you don't love no more. Like, for instance, I watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and it just doesn't hold up. It's not as...
Is that the first Jay and Silent?
Yeah, it's the one with...
I don't care for that.
Yeah, but back then when I watched it, I loved it back then, but it just doesn't hold up.
I love the cameo between Vanderbeek and Biggs.
Of course you do. He is a huge Dawson's Creek mark, and so
for our lives to be over.
Copyright infringement.
So right now, could it be?
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, you know you love it.
Do you have a movie that you
I love and now I don't?
Yeah. That you went back because you revisit. So
I revisit a lot.
I remember there's been some things I remember on your letterbox where you like, yeah, this isn't great. More than I thought it was. Top of his head. I kind of put him on the spot. We'll have to do an actual list one day.
Okay, I'll do a shark movie. 47 Meters Down.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I really liked it when I first saw it. Mm-hmm. Now I've had a few chances to go back and revisit it. It's okay. I don't hate it. It's okay.
Yeah, or maybe don't like. Just maybe hate's a strong word. But yeah, don't like. You know, a movie that I still.
Okay.
A movie that
I got one.
Okay,
you're gonna hate it.
I'm ready.
But we've reviewed it before, and Halloween 2.
No, I think I ended up agreeing with you. I seen your.
Well, you have a soft spot for Michael.
I have a soft spot for Michael. Michael's my dude. Jason's his. Pause. But so no, I absolutely enjoy Halloween films. Now I feel like the more that I've done this podcast with Brandon through the A&B show. Remember, we first was A&B show. And then Mark Out Movie, then, never mind. Anyway, so the long time we've done this, I've come to agree with Brandon on certain things. I think that I'm a Halloween mark. I'm going to always be a Halloween mark. But in my opinion, Scream is the better series. And it is what it is. Ghostface is not as iconic, though, as Michael. But I feel like no one is as iconic as... Would you say Freddy would be the most iconic, or would you say Jason? Who would you say the most iconic?
Who's the most iconic slasher of all time?
Yep. You can throw any of them. I know you don't. I know you crap on Leatherface.
He's definitely not.
Yeah, I know you crap on Pinhead. I know you don't crap on Chucky, but I don't think no one will ever take Chucky serious to put him up there. I would never put Chucky up there.
I mean, Chucky's in my top 3. but he's not.
Top 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess your top 3. Chucky be number 3. I'm gonna say Freddy Michael, Jason.
Yeah.
Okay. See, Freddy gets no love. Is it because he's too silly?
Okay.
If it's New Nightmare Freddy, you're cool with that?
I'm cool with New Nightmare. I'm cool with the original Nightmare. And I'm cool with part 3. I'm even cool with part 4.
Shout out to Ken Sagos. Shout out to Ken Sagos.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, awesome.
We interviewed him a few years back. He's just, he really is a good dude.
We enjoyed him.
But Freddy's just, okay. Freddy's got some really bad movies, in my opinion.
Who has the most bad movies? Would it be Freddy, Jason, or Michael? Yes, I would agree with that. I agree with that.
Well, actually, Leatherface.
But we're not putting him in the conversation. Because if we put it in a conversation, then hands down, there's been more bad. It's been more bad TCMs than it has been.
I don't hate them as much as I used to, but the one with Matthew McConaughey is total garbage.
Yeah, New Generation.
But I love him in it. Like he's so much.
He's fun. Renee Zellweger. They like. Well, I think they embrace it now. You said, but I would say out of the top 3, I say who has the worst films. I would, because you have a solid one. Halloween 2 is beloved. It's beloved. Halloween 3 is a cult classic, but it doesn't have Michael. Halloween 4 is up there. I think 5 and 6 is trash, and then 7
H2O.
Is that it goes H2O.
Well, yeah, it's
7, and then it goes Resurrection,
which everyone seems to hate, but I actually really enjoy.
He was a solid Michael, but I hate that Busta Rhymes beat him up with Kung Fu. And then
if you hate that, you're really gonna hate the last Halloween.
And then I would say the Rob Zombie stuff. So yeah, I'd say Halloween has, because with Freddy, Nightmare 2 is a cult classic. It is what it is. Nightmare 3 and 4. Nightmare 3 is great. Nightmare 4 is take it or leave it. And then you like the one with Rosie O'Donnell. Did you like Freddy's Dead?
I loved it when I was a kid, because that was actually the very first time I saw Freddy. Was Freddy's Dead. I remember watching it with a friend that lived up the street. We watched that, and I think Friday 13th Part 7. That was the first. I want to say. No, it wasn't the first experience with Jason. It was like the first experience I watched Jason with a friend. That or Takes Manhattan was the first. But I remember us watching Freddy's Dead.
I'm thinking about this now.
And I was like, because I was like, I don't know.
So Brandon, for those that don't know, Brandon has a history of watching the sequels before the originals. Like, it's like crazy how many. It's crazy how many movies you've seen the sequel to. I was gonna mention this. It's I thought about you the other day. Literally, somebody that works here says they want to buy Willow.
Yes.
I thought about you. Somebody here was like, "Oh, I'm looking for Willow," because I love something about they mentioned how they love. Like they had like a crush on
Work or Val?
No, Val.
Val.
Yeah. They said I was looking for Willow because I had that crush on Val. But and they said, and now he's gone. But they said, but we still have Ward Davis.
It was a woman then, huh?
No, it was a man. It was a man.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just wanted to bring that up real quick. But I think when Friday 13th, I think that they're not mediocre. When Jason pops up, I think that they're all interesting, except for Manhattan is the weakest one out of the whole series. No. Jason Goes to Hell is the weakest one out of the whole series. And then I would say Manhattan. I like Jason X. I have a soft spot for Jason X.
I think
I didn't hate
a
it.
spot for Manhattan. Like, I don't hate the movie. It doesn't make sense at all. But I like that they were trying something different and they put him on a ship. Now, if they would actually, if he would just row the ship to New York like it was planned, and him killing everybody in
It's
New
pretty
York.
much Jason on the Titanic. It's Jason.
Yeah, I mean-
Jason on the boat.
Jason on a cruise.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
killing
pretty
people.
much.
I like that. I even
But
like
if
that,
it was,
but
if that was, it should have been just a movie, Jason on the boat or
it
something.
really should have been just Jason killing people on a boat.
Yeah,
But I love that we went to New York and look, it's got in my opinion, the most infamous kill.
the best kill. You mean the head off?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Take
Which
the best
he
shot.
takes. It ticked me off. It ticked me off. Vic Morrow, not Vic Morrow. Vic, his name. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I would love to interview him about his work in because he's the one that got his head knocked off.
Yeah.
I would love for us to interview you about this.
He's the best character.
He was literally the best character, but it ticked me off because you were so close to knocking. It wasn't going to kill him, but it would just stun Jason. But just don't give him. You're at the edge.
He was at the edge.
But I think that what the movie that the reason why I don't like Jason, I hated Jason Go to Hell because just Jason in it. It's everybody.
They were trying something different. There
It's
too.
dumb. It's dumb. Don't.
They were
try.
gimmicky.
Yeah, but you know
It's
that
like
guy,
Jason in space.
the doctor that takes on Jason's body, the mortician guy.
Oh yeah.
Like
You know who I thought that was when I was a kid? I thought it was Candyman.
Yeah, you know who? But he played Don King. He played in Rocky. He played in Rocky.
Rocky V.
And he says, "Touch me, I'll sue." That's that guy. But yeah, it just was so gimmicky, and I just didn't like it. But what I liked about Jason X is they knew it is ridiculous that Jason's in space, and let's just go with it. And I love that.
Yeah.
Now I do, but I agree with you. I think that Halloween has the worst, stuck the landing the worst out of all the films. I would say, Child's Play or that series is they was Rocky for a little bit.
Yeah, I think.
I'd say with
First two
three
was-
was Rocky, and
First
then
two's great.
the Cedar Chucky was terrible. I liked Bride of Chucky. I thought that was
Bride
solid.
was fun.
Yeah,
Then you had. I liked Seed It when I first saw it. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was just the fact that I was seeing Chucky on the big screen for the very first.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoyed Jason X for the first time I saw it.
uh-huh.
I don't hate Jason X. It's just Jason should not be in that situation.
Yeah. But I will get. That's what I was gonna say about Manhattan. It does. Fun fact: you get to see a Jason versus a future Jason. You have Kane Hodder versus Ken Kirzinger.
Yeah.
Ken plays the guy at the diner, the cook that goes to confront Jason, and Jason throws him into the mirror thing or something. He throws him
Yeah.
across the counter. But
That's
yeah,
center 8. Is 8 right?
it's Manhattan. Oh, Ken.
Yeah.
When did Ken become? Ken was
Yeah, he
Jason.
played- he
Ken
played
was
in
Jason
scene.
in.
Eight.
No,
One scene.
I thought Ken
Yeah, because Ken got hurt.
was Ken not Jason in Jason versus Freddy
Freddy versus Jason, but he did play in one scene.
prior to that.
in
I didn't know
Jason
this.
Takes
This is
Manhattan.
new to me.
Yeah, because Kane got hurt.
Okay.
He had to miss one day of shooting or something.
I didn't know this. That's a fun fact. But I would
I think
say
it's when he got ran over.
that's
And Jason Takes Manhattan. I think that's Ken.
also another Jason fun fact for those that's wondering. With the Jason versus Jean Grey. So
Oh,
Jason, that scene where he can't Kane Hodder
wouldn't you
got
be
knocked.
Carrie, though? Or-
Kane Hodder, well, Carrie, yeah, that's what I meant. But Kane Hodder gets knocked out with the when the lamp is a real glass lamp that swung in and hit him, and so you heard that's him literally getting knocked out, and he fell. He did a stunt through the step, but yeah, Kane is the best Jason. I don't care what anybody says, but
I will not argue.
yeah,
I will not.
but
He's also the best Victor Crowley.
yeah, and good for him to have
I wish he would do more.
Yeah, I wish that he would too. I think that he's at this point. He's on the con circuit. So I think people realize that there is easy money in cons. They show up. Like, look at
thousands of people.
Look at that dude from the Willy Wonka, that short dude. He shows up here every year. You know what I'm talking about? The dumb Willy Wonka with Johnny Depp. That's the trash. The trash. You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen Charlie and the Chocolate
at all.
Factory.
Okay.
I think it's called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I think his name is Depp something. Depp.
No, I haven't seen
VJ Depp. I don't know what's his name. Anyway,
I like Johnny, but I don't
feel like I like Johnny no more. I think I'm over Johnny. I feel like I'm gonna say this. I'm over Johnny Depp.
Johnny?
I'm over Johnny Depp. I've become, during this podcast, not this episode, but I've become a fan of Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, because I went back and watched all the missions. No, because you always encourage me. So I watched the mission. I watched the MIs, and I became a fan. Now I haven't seen the last two.
I think Tom's a bit of a perfectionist, but I like Tom. I like his work ethic. I think, he started out as a rom-com dude, and he turned into this action.
Did he start as a rom-com dude?
I want to say
wasn't what's that movie?
Cocktail and Risky
Yeah,
Business,
but wasn't what's name early before that? Okay. The one with the greasers or whatever. What's it called?
The Outsiders.
The Outsiders. Was that not?
He's in it, but he's not a focus.
It's like
what I love about that though, Ralph Macchio.
What I love about that is freaking.
You don't like Johnny?
I like Ralph. I have a weird thing with Ralph Macchio. I'll be honest, but I like Ralph.
Why you gotta make it weird?
I like Ralph Macchio, but
the dude's got
he was cool. Like it hurt me when his character dies. I think it has C. Thomas Howell in it. It has Ralph Macchio. It has
Matt Dillon,
Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, he's in it.
Charlie's in it too, right?
Charlie? No.
I feel like Charlie.
Rob Lowe's in it.
Rob Lowe, but not Charlie.
Patrick Swayze's in it. He plays Derek.
Patrick. It has some big names.
I think Cruise he's in it, but he's
not focal.
He's like one of the brothers, I think.
And I feel the same way, like with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp started out doing like dumb comedy. Well, he started out with Nightmare on Elm Street, but he did like what's that one movie? He what's it? Not Private Beach, but like Summer. It's like resort, something like that. Private Resort.
It's on my list on the box.
He did he did that, and but he's but obviously Johnny Depp becomes Johnny Depp. I would say 21 Jump Street sparked his career. I think that's what catapulted him.
Never seen it, but yeah. You always hear how great of a show that was, and it got a spinoff with the other guy, Richard Grieco.
Richard Grieco. When I think of Richard Grieco, I think of License to Kill. Was that the movie? It's a movie where Bond? No, it's a movie where he's like he's a high school student, but he becomes like a secret agent, and they're on a field trip, and he's like, it reminds me of what real life James Bond Jr. would have been. It's like what it reminded me of.
I mean, the title sounds very similar to.
But I forget the name of it. It's Richard Greco. Which
I've added a few movies on.
I'm not a huge fan of Richard Greco.
I don't think I've ever.
I don't think nobody said, you know what, Richard Grieco's in this movie. Let me watch this.
A couple years, right?
He's big through it's called If Looks Could Kill, 1991.
I've added that.
I
was going through.
For those that want to see what I'm talking about, It Looks Could Kill, 1991.
I was going through all the '80s teen stars back then, and who were not part of the Brat Pack, but were considered
Brat Pack adjacent.
Yeah,
would
one of them.
Would Judd Reinhold be Brat Pack adjacent?
Judd.
Judge, not Judd. I'm sorry.
Judd should have been a bigger star than he was.
Judge.
There's no reason why he shouldn't have been.
Judge was one of the best parts of the Beverly Hills Cop stuff.
He is the GOAT for that franchise. I love Eddie. I love you, Axel Foley, but
rest in peace to Isley, what's his name? Ed Haggard.
I don't know the actor's name.
Yeah, rest in peace, R.I.P. He died shortly after filming that, or shortly after it came out. But yeah, so this is what the show is.
This is what the show is. It's gonna be random. That's
Randomness.
all I can tell you.
It's gonna be fun though. I'm having fun with it.
But I saw an interview.
Okay.
Since we mentioned Emilio, I figured I'd
My
bring
dude, Young Guns.
He was talking about Young Guns.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not really where I'm gonna go with, because we both know that's coming. But he said he wrote a script because he didn't like how things ended with Mighty Ducks. He didn't want to do it, that show.
He didn't want to do the show at all?
He didn't really want to do it.
Was he on a contractual? Okay.
But he said he didn't like how it ended. With they canceled it, they didn't bring him back. The whole COVID.
Like literally,
issue.
I stopped watching because there's no Emilio in season 2.
But he said he didn't like that. He didn't like how the story ended. He said, so I wrote a script. I was bringing back Charlie.
Yeah, Joshua Jackson.
Who's going to help him coach an all-girls team.
Ooh.
Which I found interesting, but he said Disney said, we have no interest in this.
Man, Disney.
If you didn't learn anything, Disney, the reason your show was canceled because you had no Gordon Bombay in season 2.
Yeah.
That's why it was canceled.
That's right.
That's why people left the show.
That's why people left the show.
And I didn't watch it till like a year or two after it was canceled.
Now, let me ask you, because we never did talk about this in the time we have left. We're about to wrap it up here soon. How did you feel on that one episode with the OG Mighty Ducks coming back in? Wasn't it kind of a cool feeling?
It's cool, but
it's short-lived, though. I wish it...
Well, how are you going to bring back the originals?
And not Josh.
And not... Well, Josh.
Josh is busy.
But still, it's Charlie. I mean, he's the main one.
I would say this, that they would have
He
to...
was supposed to come back for season 3.
They would have to pay him. Because easily, other than Emilio Estevez... other than Emilio and Kenan Thompson... Those were, and then Emilio, Kenan Thompson, and Joshua Jackson. They're the most. Now I would say that Kenan, because he still is on SNL, he's still relevant. He had a show. It's short lived, but I feel like they're the most. I don't think nobody's getting. Oh, well, the dude, the other Bash brother, he was in the Daredevil show.
Yeah.
He was also in Idle Hands, which is a great movie.
Yeah,
I don't know his name.
I got to come back.
Yeah,
I'm glad the Bash Brothers at least appeared in season 2.
Yeah, did they? I didn't see
first
season
episode.
2.
Yeah,
Both of them.
Yeah.
How's the other dude looking? He's all right. Okay, I was curious. Then there was there's an Asian figure skater dude, and I'm thinking about the later on Mighty Ducks and then there's the lasso dude. You have Cat. I remember Cat. Most of these people grew up to kind of do. Some of them grew up to do other things, but
Yeah, I just hated that Charlie wasn't part of that crew when they all reunited. They were telling a story that Bombay and Charlie had beef though, so
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, but that was the reason he wasn't there. But when he got awarded, they were celebrating Gordon. Charlie's gonna be there. I mean.
I loved that. I loved how, speaking of people handling beef and things, Maverick did it spectacularly. The reason why Tom Cruise's Maverick had beef with Rooster's. His name is Rooster, right?
You talking about that?
Yeah, it was Goose, and his son was Rooster.
Yeah.
Right. So the reason why, because they felt like he didn't show up. Well, no, he denied, but it makes sense. He denied Rooster to go into the school because he doesn't want him to die.
Yeah.
Like his dad. And I can understand that. That was great storytelling.
And Meg Ryan's supposed to come back for the third one.
Man, shout out to Glenn Powell because I first recognized him in the Top Gun Maverick, but that guy's blown up too. and I think that he's one of the biggest potential leading guys.
Yeah, he is. He's wonderful.
Yeah, and he's actually a really great actor. Pretty funny. Like the stuff where he handles comedy, he does a great job. I think I just enjoy Glenn Powell. I'm a mark for Glenn Powell.
He's a mark.
I'm a mark for Glenn Powell. Yeah. But yeah, this has been the first episode. We went an hour, which is great. I'm going to post this on YouTube and go from there. Anything else you want to say? Brandy, you choose next week's episode.
I don't know what to choose.
Whatever you want to choose.
I don't know.
He's going to think of something. You can be a list. So. Whatever floats your boat, sir.
Floats my boat.
All right.
Okay, how about this? Are you going to go see the clown movie?
I plan on it, yeah. Right. Clown in the cornfield.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we'll do next week. Come back with Clown in the cornfield. Real quick, before we leave. Brandon hadn't seen it, but I'm going to give my quick thoughts on Thunderbolts. I thought Thunderbolts was a great... It's the best Marvel movie since Shang-Chi, I would say. Because I didn't really care for...
Whoa.
I like Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was better than Captain America.
Really better than Guardians Volume 3?
Oh, well, I forget that came out.
Yeah,
Guardians is the best. I would say Guardians... All right, so I'm thinking about this new phase. Guardians... I'm going to do a top 3. Top 5. I'll try. I didn't like Marvels. So Guardians... I liked this movie, Thunderbolts. I liked Captain America, Brave New World.
I liked it too.
Shang-Chi.
Love Shang-Chi.
Would you put that above Brave New World?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And then what's another one that came out in this phase? It's very forgettable. Marvel is now forgettable, but I think Thunderbolts was really good.
What was before Brave New World? Was it the Marvels?
Yeah, it's terrible.
There was Doctor Strange came out.
Do you consider that?
I don't remember.
All right, I'll throw, because would you consider
it was after Shang-Chi.
Would you consider Far From Home in this time frame? Or is that post?
That was around the same time Shang-Chi came out.
I feel like...
I think it was the first movie after Endgame, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was Shang-Chi the first movie after Endgame?
Most recent phase of Marvel films.
We don't know.
All right. Phase 5, which... I'm trying to see what film was in Phase 5.
Well, while you're looking that up, are you excited for Superman?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. But anyway, my point is I like Thunderbolts. But yeah, I'll talk about this and then we'll cut it off. Because I got to go pick up my grandbaby. So I absolutely enjoyed... I actually look forward to Superman. I'm a big mark for Superman. It's like my favorite... It's my favorite superhero. I can't deny it. It's because of my connection to Christopher Reeves and that was the superhero that I grew up with. So I will always be a diehard Superman fan. I like Smallville. I haven't seen Smallville the Superman and Lois was great.
I like that.
I didn't see The Adventures of Lois and Clark. Never seen that.
I've heard it's good. Your buddy from the theater says it.
Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, he also loves Superman Returns. Shout out to Matt Carter. Superman Returns.
5 movies. But
yeah. But what were you going to say?
I was just going to say my favorite is Joker. You're going to be like, he's not a hero.
No, that's fine.
That's perception. Maybe he really is the hero.
Maybe he is a hero. But
the psychotic hero we all need.
What do we want people to do, Brandon?
I don't know. Has this changed?
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe. Comment.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Be nice.
Be nice. Be kind to one another. Because, life's too short, man, to be mean to people. Don't be a mean person. Be a loving person. Love each other.
I shouldn't have said what I said earlier. So if you are watching this, I apologize, D.
All right, and then I apologize also to Eli Roth. I apologize, sir. All right, in the meantime, in between time, Aaron.
I'm Brandon.
And this is the Aaron Brandon Show. Thank you for watching.